Hello, this is Andrew with Mammalian.bike, and in this video I'm going to show you how to remove a specialized S-Works crankset. This is a carbon power crankset, but all the carbon cranksets should work the same way, so I expect that it is universal. This is pretty easy, but it is something that I got stuck on the first time I did this, and I ended up talking to a mechanic at one of the specialized dealers around here, and he didn't actually know how to do it either, so he had to look it up. And so I figured it was worth just making this video because I'm going to take off my specialized S-Works power crank. You will need an 8mm hex and something that you can apply a lot of leverage, because this is really in here. I think it's 50 Newton meters or so of torque that you torque this down to. And then you just kind of slip this in here and grab hold and go. All right, so that's getting it to move at all is good, but once you're here, you just spin it until it gets taut again. And this is the tricky part, the part that had me stuck, is that it gets really hard to move. But what you have to do is when it gets hard to move, you just keep going. And eventually, it's called a self-extracting crank, because you have to just keep pushing. And then once you get past that force point, then it pulls itself off. And then that's all there is to it. And there are lots of reasons why you want to do this. One is if, like me, you have a defective right side power meter. Or the more common scenario is that it gets kind of grubby in here. You know, if you ride in the rain or you just ride. And being able to take it apart, it's a lot easier to clean the crank and get everything sorted. So you probably can just pound this out with a rubber mallet. But I like to loosen the preload first. And you do need to be careful with these because it's a 1.5mm hex key here, so it's super easy to strip these out. And there's 3 of them. You just kind of work your way around. All right, so preload collar is loose now. So I think I'm probably going to have to get that rubber mallet anyway, because that does not want to come. But basically, you just kind of like pull this out like any other crank at this point. Hopefully you found that useful. If you did, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will get to them as soon as I can. Cheers.